Hello and welcome to the MMA Elevator with me, Darius. Last week we killed it. Let's do it again this week. Robert the Reaper Whittaker versus Reinier the Riddler, RDR. Man, we got a fucking... Ryan the Riddler, look at Ryan the Riddler's face, man. He's a mongy boy. He's a good guy, though. I think he was a kickboxer and then came in as a grappler and grappling loads of people. Shit like that. He's a weird guy, really strange guy. He looks very susceptible on the feet to getting knocked the fuck out, but he puts a lot of pressure on people. Very dangerous clinch game in the sense that he just throws a shit ton of knees. Very big guy. But I think the Reaper's going to get this, mate. I think the Reaper's going to get this. He's Bobby Knuckles. People pressuring Reaper without regard for their own safety usually get tagged. Really badly. The Reaper's clean. He's got a great dip and a shot. He knows how to deal with pressure. I mean, look at the fucking Brunson fight. That I know it was a long time ago, but look at that shit. Look at the... he's just fucking... He's a beast. He's a fucking beast. He does really well with that sort of stuff. Dealt with the pressure of Romero for 10 rounds. Fucking hell, he does that shit. What the Reaper is not so good at is when people are... And what he has trouble with is when people are the ones who are waiting for him to go first. He still does well, can do well. And he fucked up his Horror, for example, as well. That's another guy who's pressuring him. But yeah, he does really well against guys that are pressuring him. He doesn't do so well against guys that tend to stand at range from him because he ends up being a little bit predictable. They know that he's going to try and dart in, so they just got to wait for the dart and just like slip and rip because he throws primarily straight shots. He's become better at mixing up his levels and mixing up what he's doing. Because realistically, Bobby could genuinely beat anyone in the world. He could have beaten Izzy. Praise obviously a horrible matchup for him in general because he's just such an enormous, scary motherfucking guy. Obviously the Reaper is dealing with a bit of damage in his life and his chin is not looking as best as good as it used to be. But he, people tend to tag him because he's quite readable when he's blasting. He does a big dart. He doesn't really stand there and just pop you with his just like not moving his feet. He moves his feet, leaps into the fucking pocket, and it means that he kind of doubles the damage that it does on him. Reinier Riddler isn't that counter guy. He's not that guy. He's not that good on the feet. He's got a sloppy little leg kick. He's got, mainly hooks. He's a powerful guy, but people are saying he's a new DDP. He's not. He's got good jits, and he might be able to tie up the Whittaker, but he's not Chimaev. I don't think he's going to be able to get a takedown here. He might get one, but I don't think he's going to get a submission on him. I don't think he's going to be able to tie up Whittaker. I don't think he's going to get him down. I don't think he's going to be able to land the tail clinch because realistically, have you ever seen anyone try and clinch up fucking Whittaker? He is so good at fucking shucking that shit off and slapping in fucking hands over the top of that shit. He will fucking put the Riddler off doing that stuff. Whether or not it puts RDR out, it is a 5-rounder, which is a long fucking time to fight Bobby Knuckles for. I'm taking Whittaker. Whittaker past the third, maybe. There's definitely a spot for him to fucking KO Riddler. There'll definitely be a fucking spot for him to KO Riddler. Interesting fucking fight. It's going to be a fucking messy one. Because the Riddler fights like that. Bobby Knuckles loves fighting in that pressure. He doesn't mind picking being in a war. I don't believe in Riddler at all. He's a weird guy. He's a creepy guy. He's a fucking menace. But he's not going to beat Bobby Knuckles. Bobby Knuckles has got a lot to prove. And he's making bank. He doesn't want to fucking be out of the UFC. He's making bank every single time he's in there. He's not going to fucking want his career to end. I don't think he's getting beaten by RDR. Could be, but I don't think so. RDR early, Whittaker late. It's not going to be RDR decision for sure. So if you want to go RDR under 2.5 or Whittaker over 3, yeah, pretty easy. Or Whittaker KO I think is live as well, so worth popping it. It's usually like 10 to 1 or something because he's not got that many, but this is definitely a fight that he can get it done. I think the Riddler, who will have a good chin, but there's only so much damage you can take, and he's not Vettori. And Vettori would have gotten KO'd in a 5-rounder. Movsar Evloev versus Aaron Pico. So Evloev really should be having a title shot right now, but he's fighting a unranked guy from Bellator / PFL. Pico is good. Pico is very good. He's a very athletic, jacked guy who's, I think, previously some sort of a American wrestler. Does well at implementing that game as well. He's got good single legs, presses people against cage. I like the way he doesn't really blast that much for these takedowns, doesn't really try super hard for it. Very athletic, very muscular. What he does is his single legs are really, really good and turns a corner, that sort of thing. Good boxing as well. His boxing's gotten better and better. He had little issues in the middle of his career because he was getting knocked out despite being like a really touted prospect, just because he was fighting, again, good opposition, and he was himself he fell in love with the boxing a little bit too much, and just got caught in the middle in between combos. So he's coming in there fighting Evloev, who's again, probably should be fighting for the title right now, but they just didn't do this to him. I don't know why. I think they hate him because he's just decisioning everyone. Despite being a very fun fighter, he's dropped 2 guys. Sneaky power, great timing, very good defensively in the takedowns and the 61 down defense. Hold on a second here. So I mean, Evloev may not have the best initial takedown defense, but what he's great at is the standing back up part of it. Let's have a look. Who's taking him down? Well, Sterling. But again, the fact that Sterling took him down 8 times, 6 out of 8, means that he got up 6 times, and he took him down as well. So yeah, it's one of the ones. I mean, Evloev, yeah, is it just Sterling that's taking him down? Nick Lentz took him down once, so it's basically just Sterling that's tried to take him down. That's why his takedown stats. Oh, Mick Grundy took him down 6 out of 15 times. So he's a guy that can get taken down. He can get taken down, but very good at getting up, very good in the scrambles. His jiu-jitsu is probably his stand-up is great because he's just very defensively sound. I think if you look at the stats here, what are his stats? Yeah, 3.99, so 4 landed per minute, 2.66 absorbed. Very, very good stats. He defensively is very good on the feet, and in the mat area, he's very, very good. I think his jiu-jitsu is probably better than his wrestling, it seems here. Or his wrestling is good, very, very good, but he's not the most physically imposing guy. I do think Evloev is going to make Pico work, and I think he's going to probably win a decision here. He's probably going to tag him with the feet. He's probably going to tag him on the ground. What was it called? Probably going to get up from the takedowns. Pico might have success in the first when he's at his physical best, but Pico doesn't really slow down that much, but he does slow down. He's a physical guy, jacked, so you have to assume that he's going to gas slightly. He's very, very game. I think it's going to be a close fucking fight. I think realistically, if you want to be safe about this, just pick decision either way. It's not going to be a finish by these guys, but very cool fight. I'm excited to see what happens here. I think Pico's a prospect in this weight class, despite fighting Evloev, who's literally, again, probably one of the best guys in this division. Him to fight fucking, I mean, he's already beaten Lopez and shit like that. So, yeah, him versus, he should really be fighting Volk right now. And that's a crazy cool fight as well. 2 absolute creepboys fighting off. But yeah, Evloev by decision, I think. Close fucking fight. Pico's definitely going to have the advantage early. Go decision either way on this one. Shara, the Bullet, Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault, powerbar. So, Marc-Andre Barriault coming off a KO win, actually, from Bruno Silva, the ghost of Bruno Silva. But he is pretty chinnable. Before that, I think he got knocked out by Stolzis, who's primarily a grappler, but also does have KOs. But yeah, a bit of a weird fight, this one. The power bar, it looks like a guy that should be grappling. Has a very physical guy. Doesn't have the biggest legs, but has a pretty big upper body. Primarily a left hook guy, does well in the clinch against the cage, which is why I think that he should be taking people down, but got a 0.21 takedown stat, so he just doesn't shoot. But yeah, primarily presses people against cage, wears them out, likes the left hook, likes elbows against cage, just fucking grinds the shit out of them. But he is chinny as fuck. Lucky for him, he's fighting Shara, who actually has 0 power in the hands. His only knockout in the UFC is a double back fist knockout of Petrosian. Fair enough. Very cool, but very weird. And not really a normal punch. Primarily a kicker. I might be mistaken with that. Has he got another KO? Let me know in the comments. Primarily a kicker, Shara is. He leg kicks a lot, just mixes all the fucking levels. Leg kicks, head kicks, body kicks. But we'll throw them in really weird ranges, really close, much closer than most people do. Very fast with the kicks. So he's happy to just do that stuff in the pocket. And he will throw his hands. They aren't very powerful, but he will tag people. He's going to be of a massive speed advantage here. But he's okay in the clinch area as well. People, somebody gets him in the cage, he's able to dig underhooks, break out turn, that sort of stuff. But again, if you ground him, I think he will be a fish. We haven't seen that yet, but I think he will be. Because he's just a kickboxer. He's just a fucking kickboxer. Very good one, but a kickboxer. So yeah, I mean, again, it's a question. I think Shara wins this fight, obviously. Does he knock him out? Does he decision him? Difficult to say. I think you got to look at the odds and pick up the best spot here. You're probably best off just betting both of those and hoping for the one with the bigger money. Yeah. It's not going to be that good of a fight, I think. I think it's going to be a pretty bad fight. I don't believe in Shara. I think he's not that good. I think he's been fed a few fights. And I think he's going to carry on getting fed until he meets a grappler and then he's going to get fucked up. But yeah. This is just another feed for him, really. Ooh. Nikita Krylov, the minor, versus Bogdan Guskov. Cesarovich. So we've got Voldemort versus a minor over here, and pretty intrigued by this one. This is going to be a fucking fireworks fight here, to be honest with you. Guskov is a very clean puncher, if I'm not very clean, very, very, very clean puncher. He's an interesting guy, though. Interesting guy in the way that he fights, because what I noticed when I was watching his tape is that he doesn't tend to counter very well. What he tends to do is he likes to be the one to go. His defense isn't great, holds his hand down low, doesn't move his head all that much, doesn't slip and rip, really. What he does is he finds the timing, and then darts in really quick, slaps you with a really nice combo. He's got very accurate hands, but isn't, again, countering your punches. His defense is not great. It's gotten better, but still not great. He allows people to pressure him against cage. You can double leg him. He's a strong guy, big guy, so he's okay, but not great. Krylov is a Shokin karate background, has a Shokin karate background. So his style is very interesting. Again, these karate guys generally, well, apart from Nikita, but Shokin karate for sure, is all offense, no defense. So he'll throw, what he's great at is that he'll throw moving forward, really good at moving forward, throwing strikes. He throws straight, head kick. Really good at mixing the kicks and the punches together offensively, but can get absolutely cleaned if someone's able to slip one of these straight shots and catch him over the top. However, Guskov ain't that guy. And what happens with Guskov as well is that when, for example, Ozdemir took him down, he ends up becoming really, really, really bait with the uppercuts. He'll just wing him, just fucking chucks him. So, I mean, despite Guskov having a sambo background and being a master of sport in general, that's technically what he is called. His grappling is really not there. His submission game especially is not that there. So when he gets taken down, he really is able to be held down. The minor is a submission specialist. He's just a fucking warrior all over the shop. But got great submission, great back takes. Really snatches that shit up. And yeah, I think I'm taking Krylov here. I don't know what the odds are going to be. I suspect that Guskov's going to be the favourite because Krylov's coming off a KO loss from Reyes. But I am going to take the minor. I think he's going to be able to chase down Guskov, make him uncomfortable. Guskov's not be able to find a counter shot. I think he's going to have a more rounded game with submission arsenal, with the grappling, with the striking. He's just got good power as well. He's just a fucking gamer, motherfucker, Krylov. So yeah, I think Krylov is Krylov's win. What's really nice about Krylov as well is that I looked back at his record. Whenever he's lost, because he has lost a few times in the UFC, he's never altered his style. It's not like he's come out and been like, oh, I'm going to be a bit cautious. He's always done the same thing he always does. And it has worked out pretty well for him in general. He could do with fucking shoring some shit up. But I do think this is that one. If you want to be safe, inside the distance, this fight in general, either way. But I do think the minor is going to get it done. That's what I'm going to bet. Almabayev, Zulfikar versus Ramazan, Temirov, Termulen. Cool fight here. Almabayev is primarily a grappler. He is alright. Not great, but he's alright. Will throw down on the feet. Is okay. Not great, but does a lot of skirting. Generally wants takedowns. I think in the UFC he's got really horrible takedown stats, if I'm not mistaken. So he fought Mano Cap, couldn't sniff a takedown there. For Masus Nicolau, who's pretty terrible. Couldn't really sniff a takedown there, but ended up getting the win. Because he's just terrible. Managed to get a win over Jose Johnson, who is a very impressive win, and he got lots of submission attempts and all that sort of stuff. But Jose Johnson does not have the best takedown defense and will engage in the grappling. Happy to. So yeah, CJ Vergara, small motherfucker, got grappled easily. And Ode Osborne, which is a very impressive win, actually. Fair enough. Ode is actually a bit of a beast, but yeah, submitted him in a second. So he's got good submissions. I don't think he's going to be able to sniff a single takedown against Temirov, though. Temirov is, if you look at his record, it's crazy. He literally, all he does is either he'll KO you in the first, or he decides he's like, nah, I'm not going to do it anymore. Because if he doesn't get you out in the first, he knows that he's just going to go decision. He literally just chooses to go decision. He's not going to try and get you out of there. He'll wing over really, really fast ball overhand at you in the first round. And you can go back and watch all this in all his fights. He'll wing a fucking fast overhand ball, overhand, at your face in the first round. Try it. If it doesn't land, he's like, cool, don't worry about it. Does a bunch of skirt on the outside. He's really quick, quite a small, short guy. And he'll just jab and fucking move and jab and move and jab and move and do that and just tag you and touch you and then move. I think Temirov is actually possibly the future in a lot of ways. He's very good. I mean, look at it. First round, KO'd CJ Vergara. Then he went Charles Johnson, couldn't KO in the first, went decision. Chose to go decision. Doesn't throw the overhand really anymore. Just chooses to jab and move. And yeah, Charles Johnson couldn't keep up with him. And Charles Johnson's a great guy. Very, very good at pressuring guys. Very good at mixing in different levels, all that sort of stuff. Couldn't sniff a takedown against him. Charles Johnson's an Olympic wrestler, or does he have Olympic tattoos on his back? Something like that. He's a good grappler. Good at mixing in different takedowns as well. But you just cannot fucking catch Temirov. He's too quick on the feet. So yeah, I think Almabayev is going to be stuck on the outside here. I think he's going to probably get decisioned. Is what we really want to go for, because I think he's going to shoot in the first round. Terminov's going to stuff, skirt, and realize that he's going to be shot on a lot in the first round. So I think he's going to make him less keen to throw the overhand. And I think he's going to go out there and just touch him and move. So yeah, Terminov decision. I'm pretty confident about that one. The last Ottoman, Ibo Aslan versus Son of Susie, Billy Elekana. Proper mismatch, this one, really. The last Ottoman is enormous. I think he came into the UFC, KO and everyone in the first round, and he ran up against Ian Cutelaba, who, man, such a ridiculous fight. Such a ridiculous fucking fight. So Ian Cutelaba doesn't have that much power, but what he does do is he wings his shots literally from the hip. Like, you know, usually you throw a punch, throw it like this. He literally will just windmill it at people. And Ibo Aslan throws straight shots primarily. So all Cutelaba did was when Ibo Aslan was throwing a straight shot, he'd meet him, dip his head, throw a windmill at him. He landed about 6 or 7. Then it finally started cracking Ottoman, because realistically they're 205ers. They're big boys. Even if Cutelaba doesn't have that much power, if you windmill your fucking fist at someone at 205, that's 205 pounds hitting someone on the chin. Hit a bunch, then got him on the ground, grappled him. I can't remember if he submitted or KO'd him, but yeah, fucked him up on the ground. Second loss for Ibo Aslan. But yeah, subbed him, there you go. Sub twice. So Ibo Aslan is a guy, it's huge, enormous. Physically, he should smash up Barriault. They are the same size and same reach. However, Barriault is a much smaller man, much less power. He's a bit of a skirter from the outside, touches, kicks, things like that. Don't think he belongs in the UFC. Not really on that level. He's alright. He's pretty, but I mean, at this weight class you need a power, and he doesn't have that. And he's never been KO'd, but I would not be surprised if he got KO'd in this one. He's not very good. Not very good, Billy. He's got kicks from the outside. That's generally what he does. Fights from the outside, skirts, kicks, floats. Will touch and move. But he's not that sharp, not that quick. So generally can't really do that well. I think if you can pressure him pretty easily, because he's just not that elusive. Southpaw versus Orthodox, that might change the game a little bit. Where does it open up? It opens up power side for Ibo Aslan. Ibo Aslan's got a great straight and a great power jab. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. I think the Ottoman by KO. I think he's probably gonna catch him left hook circling, and then a nice straight down the pipe as well at the same time. Mohammad, the UAE warrior Yahya versus the ninja Stephen Nguyen. This is a pretty terrible fight. I don't know how this is really. Yeah, this is a pretty terrible fight. Pretty terrible fight. Mohammad Yahya and Stephen Nguyen are both sort of. They don't they don't throw that hard. People talked about Mohammad Yahya having that great power, but he doesn't really have it that much. He just more clacked some guys that were really shit and hit them with overhands when they were running in. Same with Steve Nguyen. Nguyen is more of an accurate puncher. He's not actually that accurate, but when he hits accurately and hits clean, he's knocked out some boys. But I think his best attributes for me, for him, Nguyen, is actually his grappling. His grappling looks very good. He's very good at the scramble. He's very good in that sort of area. Mohammad Yahya, pretty undurable. Looks like he gets knocked over by quite a lot of stuff. Just like any sort of strike hits him, he just moves backwards and like stumbles a bit. And same with Nguyen. Nguyen is not that defensively sound. He doesn't really move his head. Okay distance management, but just like looks tired. They both look tired from the start in Bell, which is just so odd for me in this fight to pick. I mean, generally a rule that I would pick is that the taller guy, the bigger guys usually win fights. Bigger guys usually look fights. They usually look better on the thing. Stats wise, Nguyen throws more. Yahya seems to absorb more. But that was also because I think he fought Kai Fernandez and Kai Fernandez just blasted the shit out of him. But Yahya doesn't throw very much. He doesn't throw very much. And when he does, it just doesn't look very good. I think I'm going to back Steve Nguyen to be able to mix it up, get it done. He's going to be able to get the takedowns, I think, in this one. He's going to be able to outland him, outstrike him. Wouldn't be surprised if he got knocked down because he's just not very defensively sound. And Yahya, I think, will lull him into throwing. But yeah, pretty terrible fight. Pretty fucking terrible fight. No Mercy Petr Yan versus Marcus the Maniac McGhee. This is a real fucking litmus test for the Maniac. Maniac is a powerful guy who is primarily just a boxer from the outside. Really good counters. Likes to get you to come in and then pop you. But he's got really good range management. I think one of his best weapons is the fact that he's quite long for his size. And he's got a really good amount of power in his punches. So he does well at letting people trying to get into his range, because then obviously he's got a longer range than them and is able to pop them when they're coming in, and the power is decent, so they're a bit cautious about coming in. Generally, his fights play out where people are a bit scared about trying to engage with him because he's hitting them and he's pretty accurate. I think, 6.0 and 2.83. Pretty accurate. So then they're scared to engage, and when he hits them, they feel it, so they're even more scared to engage. And then they end up being quite slow-paced fights generally. He does a lot of skirting. He'll hit you and then skirt. He had a recent fight against Martinez, who's got beastie-ass leg kicks. And he dealt with the leg kicks, was able to pop him at range and keep him at the distance that he wanted to. Make sure it made him pay for the kicks. Yeah, he's just got good timing. Good timing in general. He's a good guy. He's a very good guy. Showing a bit of leg susceptibility in the Martinez fight, but who the fuck isn't going to get beaten the shit out of against Martinez with your legs? Petr Yan, I mean, he's a menace, absolute menace in general. He has great clinch work. He has great striking overall, great hooks, great decision making, great volume. Does get tagged, especially in the first. There's a lot of like this because he ends up wanting to see what you've got in the first round and then come back at you in the later rounds. Try and take you out of there. He does very well in general, especially in 5-round fights. So this is a 3-rounder. Can Marcus McGhee keep Petr Yan at bay for 3 rounds? That's the question. He looks susceptible in the third. I think the only way to get... I am going to pick McGhee because I've liked the way he's looked and his decision making. I think his mentality and his brain and stuff is actually one of his best attributes in the fighting game. He does well at winning the rounds by knowing that he's hurting these guys and popping them and making sure that he's dinking them enough and throwing enough to keep them off him and to make it look like he's winning, because they keep on being like, oh shit, I don't want to engage, and that looks great to the judges. Petr Yan has historically been really bad at losing the first round, and he loses the first round because he just gives it away. It doesn't really throw much, and then really tries to come in and buzzsaw these guys in the second and third. It did really work for him very well when he was coming up into the UFC, because people would gas, they'd really go after him. I don't think Marcus McGhee's going to do that. I think he's going to end up being patient, tag him, touch him, make him feel the power, not give him that much to make reads on, which I think is really nice. That's what Maniac does really well, is that he doesn't give him very much. And I think Petr Yan's going to struggle to figure out what to do with him. I think Petr Yan's going to end up trying to clinch him, trying to leg kick him. I think the leg kick's going to miss primarily, and I think the clinch he may have some success in. However, I think McGhee's got enough power to be able to hurt him and make him not super comfortable in that area. And again, he seems like a very strong guy, McGhee. So yeah, I think McGhee by decision. I think that's what I'm going to go for. Close fucking fight though. Scary. Petr Yan's a fucking scary bastard for anybody to fight. But yeah, Petr Yan by Marcus McGhee by decision. Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. Cool fucking fight. Thug Nasty going down to 135. Saeed slick him out the Khabib camp. So Bryce is a jiu-jitsu wrestler. Hasn't really got much on the feet. Decent right hand, decent left hook, but tends to trade those off for his chin. Tends to get hit when he throws stuff. So really he wants to fucking tag you and then change levels and grapple you out. That's really what his game is about. Saeed has wicked kicks, absolutely wicked kicks. Great hands, but will gas. He fucking lit up Look Dog, Oliveira, but he did gas and lost that fight and got out grappled. So this is one of the ones that Bryce Mitchell could definitely win. I think he's due a win now. He's been coming back. He's been looking pretty horrible, but the matchups have been absolutely brutal. I mean, Topuria, then Danige got the win over that. Josh Emmett, Kron Gracie, easy win. Gene Silva. So yeah, he's just fucking fought Josh Emmett, Gene Silva, and Topuria in the last 5 fights. It's just fucking nasty work. So yeah, I think after he fought John Silva, he was like, actually, maybe I'm just a bit too, I could definitely cut. He's a skinny guy, but he's not got much muscle. He doesn't carry much muscle, so I don't think he could be a big guy down at bantamweight. I think this is going to be good for him. I think his power's going to translate. His jiu-jitsu is very good. I think he's going to be able to wrap up Saeed. Maybe not the first, but I think he should be able to keep safe enough to get takedowns, get the back, probably get a submission on this guy. Although he's a Russian, so difficult to say, but I would probably back him to get a submission, if not a decision. Martin Badass Buday versus Marcus Buchecha. Cool fight here. I'm pretty intrigued to see what happens in this one. It's going to be a fucking fun one, actually. Buday, coming off a win over a light heavyweight, who moved up in 2 days' notice, and yeah, just waited on him and was able to slop him about. 15-2. Martin Buday he's fought the who's who of the shit heavyweights in the UFC. So you can't really put that much of a name on his record. Anyone who's fought is actually decent, he's lost to. Who's Gaziev. The only person who's fought who's actually decent is Gaziev. Buchecha has, again, not really fought anyone. He's 5-1. The only person who's actually fought was Omar Kane, who's a really... Everyone wants to say he's called Grug? What the fucking name is? Rug. And he's a fucking... Was it Senegalian wrestler from over there? Enormous human being. And Buchecha was able to go in there and give him a good fucking go. Despite being absolutely outgunned, shouldn't have been able to win that fight at all whatsoever. He's a guy who's not got bad stand-up either. He's got clearly a lot of power. He's a huge guy in 255. Buday is not really got that much power. He generally wins fights by making him dirty. He's got okay boxing, a little leg kick, a nice little left hook, but primarily does his work against the cage, grinds people out, and makes them work, gets them gassed, and pops a decision usually. Buchecha is a jiu-jitsu champion, I assume. Some sort of fucking jiu-jitsu fella. He's a beast. Huge. I've seen him rolling with Gordon Ryan. Holds his own for like 35 minutes. Massive dude. And he's got a good amount of power. Very game. Very game for an MMA fighter. For a jiu-jitsu guy coming into MMA. The fact that he went 3 rounds with Rug is very impressive to me. And he was able to take down Rug and hold him down a little bit. He's a guy who thinks he's coming in and he's got a lot to prove. I do think that Buday, despite him having a 100% takedown defense apparently, it has not fought anyone that's tried to shoot on him. The guys people who have tried to shoot on him, the best guys that have shot on him are Arlovsky and Gaziev, who didn't really commit on a takedown really. Gaziev's more of a striker primarily. He's got a blast level, but he does really primarily just strike. Yeah, Buday's not... It's a bit of a false stat, that. So I don't think that really tells you anything about this fight. I do think Buchecha is too big, too fucking athletic, too fucking much for Buday, and I think he's probably going to get him out in the first. Wouldn't be surprised. I think Buchecha sub, if he's a dog, you're flying. I think it's pretty good money. I wouldn't be surprised if TKO'd Buday, because Buday doesn't really love the damage that much. He will eat it and soak it up, but he doesn't love it that much. So yeah, interesting fight here. Buday, not really a very good heavyweight, just sort of one of those guys who's sort of there, a bit of a March to Bora sort of guy. Buchecha, a specialist, unproven yet. His gas tank looks pretty good. He will gas out in the first, but then have a second wind and will keep on going. Very, very game. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. I do think Buchecha wins this one. I think he's going to look big. I think he's going to look strong. I think he's going to clonk about on Buday. Wouldn't be surprised if he went decision. If Buday... No, I would be surprised, to be honest with you. I think if this goes to Matt, I think Buchecha's miles ahead on the ground game. Buday's a decent grappler himself, but I think he's miles ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if TKO though, so don't always go submission on this one. Muslim, the king of Kung Fu, Salikhov versus Carlos the Lion Leal. Interesting fight here. We've got an old Slickum versus a young, possibly roidy smasher. Carlos Leal. So I'm going to start the Carlos Leal side because he's the guy coming up. He's the guy who they're trying to build, I think, into doing something interesting here. He's a huge guy. He's a big guy for the fucking 170 division. He's not that much physically that big, but he's got very long reach. I was looking at Li Jingyang. He's 6'1", but he's only got a 71-inch reach, whereas Carlos Leal's got 74-inch. You can see his arms are massive, and he's a very jacked human being. Decent gas tank, will go full 3 rounds, will always keep on pressuring, will always keep on smashing you. Can get tagged, tough to take down. I think he's taken down against 90%. I mean, he fought Fakhretdinov and wasn't able to get taken down. So he's not an easy guy to grapple. Luckily, he won't have to deal with that. Luckily, Muslim Salikhov is not going to try and grapple Carlos Leal. Salikhov is a... What do they fucking call him? Not Kyokushin karate, but he's some sort of fucking slicker on the feet. He's some sort of ex-taekwondo guy, I'm pretty sure. He's got a really nice straight, really snappy little left hook that he throws, moving backwards, moving forwards, and he's got a good leg kick. He's slowing down as the years go by. He came into the UFC looking really, really annoying to deal with because he was just always touching and moving and throwing very little. As he's gotten older, he's gotten slower with the feet and easier to hit. But he will fuck up anyone who's significantly slower, like he fucked up Song Kanan. Song Kanan was just miles slower with the feet, so he just couldn't deal with the Salikhov speed and just got absolutely cracked and KO'd. Carlos Leal is going to be pressuring the fuck out of Salikhov. Leal's defense is a little bit interesting because he's not the best defensively. He has a good leg kick himself. He will chop you down. He's got good hands, but he throws primarily hooks, which do catch Salikhov, to be fair. But he tends to do a thing where he rolls backwards, shoulder rolls, and pulls his head backwards a little bit, tries to pressure and get you to throw and miss. Whether or not that's going to work against Salikhov, it really depends on how Salikhov fights. If Salikhov goes in there stepping in really hard with the straights and being confident with his power and with his timing, I think he can crack Leal. I think he really can crack Leal. Whether or not he can get out of there is a different question because Leal is very game. But I'm probably Roy. But Salikhov, in his last few fights, he's been fighting a little bit worse than that. He's been fighting a little bit more. He's finding his moments doing that, and he will always do that in a fight. But he has also done a lot of being in that pocket a little bit too much for my liking. He doesn't do the thing which he used to do, which is pop and dart straight out. He does a pop, or he'll do a left hook moving backwards and leave himself open for somebody to chase him down. He's not quite as quick with the feet, so he's just not able to get out of the pocket that quickly. I do think Leal was able to get this done. I wouldn't be surprised if he KO'd him. I probably would go Leal past the first because Salikhov's not an easy guy to find. And you're going to get pretty good odds on that. Leal KO past the first, very spicy. You should get something like 5-1 on that. Yeah, I do think so. I think Leal past the first if you want to be safe, but Leal in general should win that one. Dangerous Davey Grant versus Demont, the monster Blackshear. Two very good fighters at 135 and complete different ways. Davey Grant is primarily a rhythm fighter, striker, really good at mixing up strikes on the same side, mixing in straight shots with round shots, elbows, knees. He'll fucking creep people out with his feinting, which is also part of his movement. And yeah, gets TKO, but primarily a decision fighter. Very good overall. Then Demont the Monster Blackshear is a pressure boxer with intense grappling is what I'd probably suggest him as. He's got very good submission game, which I think is one of his best attributes. This fight is it's an interesting one. It's whether or not David Grant at 39 can still turn back the clock again. He's been in the UFC for a long time, has some really good fights against some really good guys, beating Marlon Vera, beating let's have a look at some of the fucking guys. Jonathan Martinez knocked him out. Adrian Yanez lost the decision, lost again a decision against Marlon Vera. So he's had some wins, had some losses, but overall a really good guy, beating Lewis Smolka, Aslan Sao. He's a really, really good guy in the striking. He does have a deficit in the grappling, which you can see a 61% takedown defense and 7-4 sub-wise. So decent grappler, decent submission defense, but not the best. Blackshear is actually very tenacious, very good at the submissions. He himself is 11-0 with submissions. Primarily, how does he get submissions going? Yeah, Kimuras, as I thought. You go for chokes, Reinier chokes, but primarily, like, he's a strong motherfucker. He's got great top control, and he'll yank a neck, he'll yank an arm. He gets really good position and is quite quick against that sort of stuff. Yeah, so it's one of the ones. What you betting on this one is, can Blackshear get David Grant down, and can he submit him? Because he's probably going to lose on the feet. He's going to be the one pressing forward, but David Grant doesn't mind that at all. David Grant he likes people pressuring into him, because then if they're pressuring in at a consistent pace, he's the one who can dictate the rhythm of the fight. Damon Blackshear will do that. He will shoot. Tends to spend a little bit too much time on the feet for my liking in general, but does very well defensively. Despite absorbing 4.515, he gets involved, but he should be able to win this one. For my money, I think Damon Blackshear by submission is good money on this. I would probably go late, because David Grant is not the easiest guy to catch, but he does slow down slightly, and with all that rhythm bouncing in and out, moving in and out, feinting, all that sort of stuff, he does tend to step in quite heavy when he does step in, and I think Blackshear is good enough to be able to time level changes underneath that. So yeah, Damon Blackshear, probably by submission. Anyway, that is the breakdown. Thank you very much for joining me in the elevator. We got some good wins last week, and let's fucking make some good wins this week. I got fucked over by the parlay gods, but let's go. We would have won 2K if Zellhuber would have just KO'd fucking Johnson in the second or third round, but he just didn't want to do it. Decided to just kick his arms instead. Do 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 do.